This video is going to be a little different. This video, I'm going to try to guess my older brother's favorite games. And then I'm going to make another video where I ask him what his favorite top 10 is. And then compare the two. Try to guess how well I know my brother. This should be pretty difficult because my brother's played plenty of games. And now it's my duty to try to find out what his favorite games are. So let's go with 10. We're going to go with 10. We're going to go with Stardew Valley. My older brother loved this game. I think, honestly, this will take place of Harvest Moon 64. I think he's only going to probably put one farming simulator on there. And, yeah, I see this as kind of like the benchmark for him for farming sims. He played it a lot. There goes the turkey crossing the road. What's up, little man? But yeah, he absolutely loved Stardew Valley. He loves Harvest Moon 64. I just think that he was able to play with his wife with Stardew Valley, and I think that was also very important for him. So I think the twofold is what makes it so important for him. So no doubt. Number 9, I'm gonna go with Hades 2. He played a shitload of Hades, and he played a lot of Hades 2. Hades, you know, we talked about it. He ended up getting Hades 1, and then he played a lot of Hades 1. He was kind of telling me about Hades and vice versa. Like, we were both talking about our runs and what we were doing, you know, what gods we were meeting, which gods we liked, which trinkets we liked, with, you know, how the runs were going, and who was difficult, who wasn't difficult. Yeah, I have no doubt that this is very high ranking for him. You know, I see this as a game that he can spend countless hours on. I think he'll always go back to. I think this is like kind of a staple of his gamings, of like his games in general. So yeah, again, I'm not going to go too deep into why my brother likes these games because they might not even be on his top 10. I'm just trying to kind of gather what I think I know about my older brother and what we talk about and how much I can gather. And games keep on popping up in my head, so I know it's going to be difficult for him. It's going to be different, you know, for him to make the list, and then difficult for me to make the list. But we're trying here. Number 8. See, I have a pretty good concept, I think, of what his top, like, 3 or 4 look like. But I don't want to forget it. Honestly, even, like, his top 5, I have a pretty concrete feeling of what they are. Number 8, and he was just talking about this game. And sometimes I'm like, how much does he like this game? But I feel like it's his favorite fighting game of all time. And I don't know if it would rank this high, but I'm going to go with Mortal Kombat 1. We were just talking about our Mortal Kombat rankings. I can't put this too high. There's no way. I know that my brother doesn't like it. Like, he loves this game. I mean, if I say that it's in his top 10, then that goes a long way. And I'm trying to think of other fighting games that he absolutely loved. But I think Mortal Kombat 1 is kind of like the peak of like his gaming, like his gaming landscape really started with the Sega, while mine kind of started more with the N64, even though I was in the Sega realm. This game has got to be on there. I don't really see, if anything, it's in his top 20, but I'm going to go with Mortal Kombat 1, because he was just saying it was his favorite Mortal Kombat as well. So I'm going to put Mortal Kombat 1, the one for Sega Genesis, at his number 8 spot. Number 7. You got to think of all time, and the culmination of all the games that he's played, that he has loved. Number 7. And this is kind of be what the video is about, like me kind of taking breaks, pondering, because I'm doing it in real time. So what would be his number 7? See, I want to say Baldur's Gate, like 2, but I don't think he liked that game that much. And you had Demon Stone. Number 7, you know what? Number 7, I'm gonna put Fallout 4. It might be pretty high for this video, and I was trying to think of all BioWare games. So there's a BioWare game that's deeper down into the list, but I'm trying to think of all time. And then if I'm thinking about Fallout and BioWare, I think there's 3 games that are going to be in his top from those studios. And I think at number 7, I think I want to put Fallout 4. Because Fallout 4, it's his favorite Fallout. He really liked New Vegas. He liked 3. And if we're really going to put one of them, this is the one that he likes the most. I'm going to put Fallout 4 at his number 7 spot. Again, most of these games I'm like, oh man, it's a close call. And let me just try to run through what I think is, like before I kind of mention. I have his top 4, I'm pretty sure. So we just need kind of 2 more, and then I feel pretty confident in his top 4. But I could be mistaken. So this is really a test. His number 6 and his number 5 spot. Oh, God. I don't know if I want to put that above there. So I have his top 5. You know what? I think at number 6, I'm going to put the Knights of the Old Republic MMO. Again, I'm like trying to really like have a good grasp on this, and I'm like, do I have a good grasp? And I think that number 6 being Knights of the Old Republic, or the Old Republic, and number 6, I feel pretty good about that. Because he played a lot of this game, and I'm gonna put it like as an MMO goes. I'm gonna put this there because I feel pretty good about that choice. Because I gotta put an MMO. There's that Defiant game. I think it was Defiance, or it was a sci-fi show that they made a game about. And he played a lot of that too. He played a lot of EverQuest. He played a lot of Mass Effect 3, like for multiplayer games. And he wasn't a huge Halo guy. He wasn't a huge Gears of War guy. He wasn't a huge Call of Duty guy. So yeah, I'm gonna put that there. And for his top 5, I'm pretty concrete on what his top 5 are gonna be. At number 5, I think I'm gonna put Skyrim. I was going back whether or not to put this at 5 or 4, but I'm pretty certain that Skyrim's gonna be 5. He's played so many different characters in this. He just he got it on his laptop and he was playing some mods, and I think that's he absolutely. No, I'm gonna go right here. He absolutely loves Skyrim. Yeah, this game was so, like, not only did this game come out when he met his wife It also is a game that he played the shit out of. He played the shit out of Morrowind and Oblivion, more than I did. And he made multiple characters in both. I think for as far as Bethesda games, I think this ranks the highest. I don't really see a game ranking higher than this as far as a Bethesda game. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain on this pick because he has sentimental value with this game. He truly, like deep down, I think this is the game that he kind of bonded with the most, and I think that's obviously very important for my brother. So yeah, I don't really see this. I see this game as a pretty concrete pick for my brother. I like this pick because it really I think this game shows my brother. I don't know what this guy's doing. Oh, okay. I think that this is a game that he can always go back to. Again, that kind of harms me in some ways, like how important a game is for me. Like I really, like sometimes that's really detrimental to me is how much I've played a game. So I don't know if that would affect my brother's picks as well. Because sometimes for me, I'm like, Tracy Penny. I'm trying to think of how this mall connects. So I pick number 5 for Skyrim. I think that's a solid pick. Number 4, I'm gonna pick. I'm trying to think of where that store is too. Number 4, I'm gonna pick. Oh man, which one? I think it's Pokemon Diamond. I'm gonna put. My brother is the biggest Pokemon guy I know, pretty much by a mile. I know some people who play Pokemon. They have nostalgia for it. They, played several of them. They continue playing them. Not to the degree that my brother played them. My brother played them absurd amount that really added up over time. Like, this was a game that he absolutely devoured in every single way that you could devour this game. He absolutely ate this game up. He loved Pokemon games since we were growing up. They've always been a staple of his life. Like they've always been around. He played all the Pokemon adjacent games. He absolutely loved Pokemon. For me, not so much. I played Pokemon Snap and Stadium and Pokemon Blue, and I think that's all the Pokemon games I played. He plays every single one under the sun. Besides the dungeon ones, I don't think he ever played a dungeon like the Pokemon. I forget what it's called, but it's like a dungeon Pokemon game that was on the DS and stuff. And he didn't play some of the more offshoot ones, but in general, he played pretty much every single Pokemon game. Especially the mainline ones. He just he ate all the mainline ones up. These guys are kind of scary. They kind of look like. I think that's a solid pick for my brother because he loved Pokemon. I don't really see. It's got to be one of the Pokemon games, and I think I asked him which one he played the most, and I think this one was the number 1. So I think that's a solid pick for my brother. Again, I'm pretty sure that I know what the top ones are, so I will continue this video in a second. Alright, part 2 of this video, badly edited part 2 of the video. I actually just talked to my brother, I said, hey, send me over your top 10, and I'll make this video as the part 2 to this one, the accompanying video, which should be fun because, again, I think I know my brother's top 5, but like the order might be a little bit wishy-washy, because I think I sometimes get in my mind that I've changed and nobody else has, and that just is so not true. When I talk about my, I got blasted. When I talk about my best friend's games as well, it will be a surprise. Like, it was a surprise to me, and I think that each person that I've talked to, like, they surprise me with what I think. And when I do my little brothers, it'll be a surprise. When I do my wife's, surprise. My sister's, surprise. I already did what I thought was their favorite game, but then when I'm gonna like do it again, I think I'm gonna be surprised at what the details are gonna be. But I think with my brothers, and it's getting really difficult because 3 and 2, I'm gonna go with my gut with what I think 3 and 2 are, and that's because one of them is kind of a standalone game, while the other has sequels. And even though I thought that it ruined it for him, I ended up finding out that I don't think it ruined it for him like completely. So I'm gonna go with number 3. With Ogre Battle 64. Again, this was kind of difficult for me to place between 3 and 2, but I think 3 is pretty steady because I don't think my brother. It's been longer that my brother's hasn't played this game, and I think that is the only reason it's not over 2. I think that 3 and 2 are pretty equal footing for my brother. Like, I don't really see them like too much of a disparity. They're kind of both completely different games, and one was made many years ago while the other was, there's differences in it. But I think that between the two, and I didn't even say what number 2 was, but he played the crap out of Ogre Battle 64. No doubt in my mind that this is number 1 for his favorite, easily his favorite N64 game. I mean, I don't even think there's one that even comes close to this. And to me, it's really not even an N64 game. Like, obviously it is. I don't want to be completely like that. I don't want to sound completely dumb, but it's really a game that reminded me more of a PS1 game than it did a N64 game. And I know there's kind of like story and lore to this cartridge, being so big that, there's like something with the story of Ogre Battle 64 as far as containing it within a cartridge versus a disc, and the studios, and there's lore to it. But Ogre Battle 64 is a fucking stupendous game. I think it would rank very high for me too if I had a system to replay it. I think that if it got re-released on Switch Online, I think it would rank very high on my own list. But I didn't beat it when I was a kid. I got very far. I remember getting the Black Knight guy. I remember getting the werewolf guy. I remember getting certain characters that were, and I made a whole team of like the leaders. I had really fond memories of this game. And my brother, like, this is a game that my brother just consumed, like he did with Dragon Age Origins. Both of these games, like, he just ate up. And the number 2, I remember him just when it got released, I was playing Arkham City and he was playing his number 2. And there's only been certain games where my brother just sat down and just absolutely ate up. And Ogre Battle 64 is an easy number 3, if not number 2, but I'm going to go with number 3. Because number 2 has got to be Mass Effect 2. Again, it's like the stand-ins for the console generations. Like, Skyrim is kind of on its own. It's a game that kind of transcends its console generation, for better and for worse. Like, it's a game that is equal parts old, equal parts new. And I think that, again, Skyrim is Skyrim. Like, there's no talking about it really anymore. There's no, people will hate it, people will love it. I'm kind of in between. I kind of used to hate it, but then the more I just kind of understood what it was, and why it's so accessible to so many different people. And that's a really good thing. And even though it's aged kind of in a bad way, I think, in the aspect that, you know, the game design might not be the best, for a game that is 15 years old, I think that its pros outweigh its cons. And yeah, I think that Mass Effect 2 is kind of his stand-in for that console generation. Kind of like how Dead Space 2 is mine. Mass Effect 2 is his. And I think that it is the placeholder for when my brother was, you know, kind of in a transition period as far as like just his life in general. I think this game and Skyrim and like, these are games where he was a little bit older, wiser, and I think just means a lot to him. I think that he had the time to play Mass Effect 2, understand Mass Effect 2, and really indulge into Mass Effect 2 completely, like, again, completed. Like, it's so funny, my little brother loves Mass Effect 2, and he plays it the same way my brother does. Like, he plays as a female character. He completed everything. He did all the planets. He did every single thing that you could. And, you know, it's really, I think with Mass Effect 2, it really brings you in. And I never played it, but I saw both my brothers play it, and they played it the same way. And they both, like, just had this inkling to be like, I want to complete everything, because they were so in love with the characters and the world and the lore. This really was a completion for both my brothers. I would rank this very high in my little brothers as well. And it's so funny because they never talked, like my two brothers, briefly at times. But for being so distant, they have some of the same likes and dislikes. So, Mass Effect 2, no doubt. Number 1 is obvious, but it could shock me, because when I get to my best friend's games and I compare it to what I thought his favorite game was, he let me know I was wrong, but not in the way that I thought. It's the same way that I've grown, my best friend grown. But my brother, I don't know if this will ever change. I think it will. And that might sound off, but I think that my brother still has a game out there that is all parts him. And Shining Force, I think, is 90% my brother. Who he is, what he likes, every single thing like that. But I think there's a game out there that is 100% my brother. And I don't think that he's found it. And I don't mean to say like my brother, it's like my brother's stupid, or my brother's one of the most intelligent people I know. But my brother is so complex, and when he reads, when he writes very complex worlds that are very layered, very purposeful, has many different lore elements. He's and that's why Mass Effect is, I think, and Ogre Battle 64 are so close to the top spot. I think all three are very close interspersed with each other, because Ogre Battle 64 and Mass Effect 2 I think have a better story than Shining Force. But this came at a time that, like, this and The Hobbit were like both games that, like, my brother was just like, or like both universes that my brother just was like, these are universes that shaped who I was. Well, I think that, like, Berserk and I don't know, for games I don't really know. Berserk and I don't really know. As far as games, I don't think I found a game that was transformative until now. I think up until now, I didn't play games in the right kind of manner. Like, I played them to complete them. I played good to be good at them. Not until I was like 30 did I actually be like, wow, these games actually really connect with me. Before it was always gameplay or getting all the achievements, being competitive, not playing games for the right reasons. Now I play them with purpose. And I think my brother's done that his entire life. I think he picked games that he was like, I'm not going to give up on right away. I'm going to play through until the end and really understand why people love these games. Knights of the Republic 2, maybe not be completed, but my brother was like, he loves the Knights of the Republic games. The Shining Force is the whole package. It starts off good, it ends good. It throws a lot of curveballs at you, with also being very simple. It has some of the best cast of characters that any RPG's ever had. It's diverse, it's unique, it's completely different, but also very fantasy oriented. It throws every single thing at you, and the gameplay is very solid. And I think that this game did what Fire Emblem ended up doing much sooner, and I don't think it gets credit like it should. You play songs like War Song, Fire Emblem, some of these early strategy RPGs. Shining Force had like a world. Every stage you could actually go into the village, check out the village, learn some different things. There were secrets when you were in that little world, and you unlocked characters in that world too. It was an RPG with tactics gameplay. I think that it's very much overlooked. Very much overlooked. I think that other games kind of get the praise, while Shining Force put in the hard work and really made this Genesis feel complete in its package. Really, if you look at what the Genesis is about, it's about the old and the new mixing together. Shining Force was fantasy and sci-fi, so that is what Genesis was all about. Man, I couldn't give this game enough praise. I don't like it as much as my brother does, purely out of the fact that I'm not a huge fantasy guy. My brother is. My brother is pure fantasy. He likes sci-fi as well, but fantasy is his playground. And I don't think any game that he's played exemplifies him as much as Shining Force, Ogre Battle, and Mass Effect 2. But again, when I've played some of my games, I'm like, man, I really think that my brother would fucking love this game. And one game that I want my brother to play so bad is Planescape Torment, because he is in classes where he's doing philosophical teachings, and he's in classes where they're talking about these type of things, and Planescape Torment and Xenogears are like the philosophical masterpieces. They're philosophical conundrums with just some of the best, and I think my brother needs to play both of them, because I think both of them will rank in his top 5. I think they will push out some of these old games. Not saying that they're bad games, but I think that Planescape Torment is a game that might be D&D with the Planescape setting, with philosophical teachings that are absolutely out of this world, no pun intended. But my brother has always had a solid top 3. that has, I don't think, changed. And I will make a video that is actually my brother's top 10 and see how much it compares to mine. But thank you guys for joining, and I will see you next time.